Hey, what's going on? My name is Erik Bruner-Yang. Today we're in my restaurant Maketto, which is located in Northeast DC. So Maketto, I think, is a really especially unique place. At the time when we opened, there's actually no coffee shop between here and the 4th Street block. It's almost, if you look at it now, there's probably a coffee shop on every corner, but it was pretty just kind of out there in terms of the concept. We had the retail component, we had this amazing Taiwanese Cambodian food. We wanted a place that aesthetically felt Asian, but didn't have any Asian motifs or drawings or art or anything like that. But it had a sensibility to it. And we also wanted to pay homage to the history of H Street, which at one point in time was one of the most vibrant retail corridors in Washington, D.C. before the Martin Luther King riots in 1968. A lot of people ask, why do you have the retail in the front of the building? It's really to play to that history that existed here and should continue to exist here. We wanted to make it a prominent feature. I'm not from the DC area. I'm originally from Taiwan, but I've been in this area since 2000 and even longer, maybe like 94. Yeah, I think one of the best examples is right now we're sitting on the 2nd floor of Maketto. Since the pandemic, we've been actually subleasing this space to a person that's been working here for a long time named Matt Talley. He calls this store Cool Kids Vinyl, and we just have a really good relationship. He was having a hard time finding a physical space, and we had already developed this kind of trust relationship with each other, and he trusted me to make sure to take care of his stuff, and I trusted him to make sure, as a support system, and so this is like a perfect example. Downstairs we have a collection, a Maketto collection that some ex-employees designed for us when they decided they didn't want to work in F&B anymore, and they met through here, and they launched a design studio, and they did one of their first projects was a collection for this place, and so I think we've always kind of been supportive of the staff that works here. You start with the people that work here, and then it kind of grows out from there. Yeah, we literally built this place from the ground up. This main building, we call main building, this used to be kind of like a mom and pop dollar store. The courtyard was in complete disarray, and the back was actually a oil change shop. And so we combined all 3 lots into one unit and demoed everything and put on new steel and everything. And kind of like what I touched about at the beginning is we wanted to have this kind of timeless feel to it, so you can come here in 2015, you can come here now in 2021, it would still feel new and fresh every time you came. And it also would play to an Asian aesthetic without being overtly Asian. I actually think I take less inspiration than an artist's final product and more inspiration on how the artist carries themselves and their own demeanor. I feel like I'm always, especially as I get older, everyone gets younger. The artists always seem to be younger. They remind me a lot of myself when I was still figuring out what my final voice would be. And so I think the process of being an artist I find always more interesting than what their final product is. Maybe it would be the artist's way to say it. It's I don't really put a label on it. Yeah. Maybe other people do, maybe other people don't. I just try to be a good friend to people that need them, and that's how I always approach things. It's obviously tough for everybody, but I think there's a closeness here. I don't think that existed as much as before, even though everyone was really quite close, but I think everyone experienced a trauma together, and I think we kind of look at each other differently. We look at the world much differently. We look at the work much differently, And I think the things that used to really stress us out now are just like, it just is what it is, you know. And I think that is, in a sense, you know, it's unfortunate. The pandemic is unfortunate. Everything that's happened. Having to address all of these systemic issues in this country, the pandemic has forced us all to address. But I think at the end of the day, you know, it's brought us all a lot closer and has a collective purpose. And I think that part is, you know, a blessing. I've been on A Street for a long time. I've had up to, you know, 3 businesses within a couple blocks of each other. I just, you know, I don't think it's quite reached its level of development yet that it wants to. But I'm also very happy with where it's at right now. I think it's at a middle point where we're at a good balance of development and community. You know, for a long time, everyone thought everything on our block, which is the 1300 block, would be kind of like where you would see the biggest development change, but it's really happened more towards where the Whole Foods is. So I really like what we have here right now. I would love more businesses to come in, and there's a lot of vacant properties. So we'd love some more businesses to come in and kind of push us to the next phase of this area. But I'm also, you know, very grateful for the condition. I think all good things eventually need to come to an end. I don't think we are at that point yet. But I think eventually, I don't want to do anything that feels tired. This doesn't feel tired yet, but maybe in 10 years or 15 years it might. But hopefully someone else will either take the mantle and take it to the next level. But I think right now, we still feel very fresh. I think we've made a lot of meaningful changes during the pandemic, and I'm excited to see where we go from there. My name is Erik Bruner-Yang, and this is Maketto.